Welcome, guys. We are live on New Gambia platform, Facebook, and we also on recording here for our viewers later. All right, there are some noises in the background. I
Yeah,
don't know.
possibly that noise is coming from the
Okay.
noise of the kids, right?
Yeah, the kids. Yeah,
Possibly it's coming from my end.
yeah. I am your
Yeah.
host, Sawane, from New Gambia platform, and I have Kau Yoro, in Indonesian, Gambian, also part of
Yeah.
the New Gambia platform, and I have Habib Bari, also part of our platform. So we are here to discuss a few issues in the Gambia, and we also gonna discuss some civic education topics that we believe would help our members to educate one another and make conscious decision politically, socially, economically, and so forth. So this forum is about educating one another, sharing ideas, so we can grow as a country. So I will introduce the first topic, which is uh, the recent disclosure by PDOIS on their stance about the 3 years. I think this has made a headline because a lot of people heard about things that they say, were responsible for the collapse of the coalition. But having Ali Fasala, who is one of the mastermind of the coalition, coming out, I think this was a blessing in disguise. It actually make everybody understand what went wrong, how the coalition came about, what went wrong, and people can make conscious decision as who is responsible for what. So we're gonna analyze this deeply. We're gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes on this, and let's just be fair in our analysis. Let's not just point finger to one person. Let's highlight where everyone, as a stakeholder of the coalition, where they went wrong and what they did right. So I'm gonna start with Kauyoro. If you can give us what you actually understood from Ali Fasala and the PDOIS stance on the 3 years journey. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Modu. I think I also use the opportunity to thank everybody who is a member of the platform. And I'm definitely very grateful to be associating with people like you, because since yesterday you told me this thing, really I was definitely preparing to make sure that, I try to join this discussion. Nonetheless, definitely is one of the best platforms I can say we have in the Gambia, because you have a lot of people, who really join, members of the platform, various backgrounds, of high reputable people, that make me definitely to love the platform very well. Coming back to your question, I think what Halifa said was very clear. In fact, for me, he was just repeating. He has said this thing over and over. Because Halifa, if you know Halifa very well, Halifa doesn't change. He's a politician who doesn't change. You see him? What he says yesterday and what he said the day before yesterday is the same thing that he just keep on repeating. If you really know the type of politician he is. So he was just trying to reiterate their position regarding the 3 years. You see, and what he said was very clear. I don't know whether you are getting me. Are you getting me? Am I clear?
We're getting you loud
Hello?
and clear. We are getting you loud and clear.
Are you getting me?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. Yeah.
So for me, he was just trying to reiterate their position. Yeah, he was just trying to reiterate their position as far as DOI is concerned. But definitely, to be frank with you, the 3 years Jotna, the position of DOI is very clear. Because DOI, since in the initial stage, what they said was, you know, this is a moral issue for President Barrow. It's a moral issue. For DOI, they are not going to force him to resign. They are not going to force him to resign. And they will not be party to anybody who is going to force DOI to resign, force Barrow to resign, as far as the 3 years is concerned. But what they would advise Barrow to do is to honor the 3 years. Is to honor the 3 years. That's the best advice that they can give to Barrow. But if he decides to go for the 5 years, that's left to him. That's left to Barrow. And that can be, you know, risky, because we've all seen presently what is, you know, trending in the Gambia. You see, that can be very risky for Barrow if he wants to do that. So if I was Barrow, definitely, you know, for Halifa being a key member of the coalition, I would definitely listen to him. I would definitely listen to him, you see, because the coalition, in fact, all started to, you know, surface its ugly heads immediately after the release of, you know, Dabo. Because everything failed when they refused to have an independent country. Independent country would here mean the same uniformity, the same National Assembly member, one candidate, you see? That's where everything fails. Because other people were thinking on party lines. Other people were saying their party would die. You see? So for me, this is where the whole problem started. Definitely, this is where the whole problem of the coalition started. You see? But hadn't been that they have only one candidate, only one independent candidate, one independent country, then all this problem would not have. In fact, Barrow, by now, Barrow would be the one who in fact would have been the one benefiting by now. You see? Because all the National Assembly will be on his side. You see? So this is the problem that really we facing, you see, as a country. And all the problem definitely started there during the National Assembly elections, when people refuse to have one single candidate. You see? So as far as the 3 years is concerned, definitely DOI position is very clear. Even if you listen to Halifa's just recently held press conference, what he said is a moral issue for Barrow. You see, because an agreement is an agreement model. This is a moral issue for Barrow. An agreement.
Right. Now,
definitely.
Just to piggyback on what you just stated, so if at all coalition was planned ahead of time to have one independent parliament, and also to have a headquarter whereby any decision that the president is making will have a consultation with a committee by the coalition. Didn't you think that would be a greater idea for our reform process to go as needed? Because that is the fundamental goal of this coalition, to make sure that
Can you
Gambia is
repeat your question? I don't get your question very well. Can you repeat your question?
What I'm saying to you is that if at all we have that independent parliament, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, okay.
And then we have one headquarter by the coalition, whereby the president will do a consultation on some of the appointments and some of the key decisions. Wouldn't that be a great reform for our country? And wouldn't that speed up the reform process, especially a constitution reform that is taking longer than it should?
Yes, yes, absolutely, Modu. That would have been a very good, even for President.
So why
even these 5 years that we are talking about, we should not have even be talking about 5 years.
So
even
now,
these 3 years that we are now talking about.
So now,
Hello?
why do you think these members of coalition would have to try to disown that idea and come with tactical alliance? Why do you think that was able to succeed? Because the coalition have seven parties or more.
Why do you think it's not succeed? I'm not getting your question very well.
Why do you think that the idea of tactical alliance became successful? Being that the coalition members themselves, knew in the beginning that they were trying to do a reform for the country. They want to come together so that no one person would perpetuate himself to power, to put laws and reforms. Why do you think that they will shy away from that once the election is won? What is the reason behind that?
No, the reason behind that is all self and greed and personality. That's all. Definitely. It's all self and greed. Because, when these people were coming together, they have only one objective. You see? That is to unify the country and remove Jammeh. They have only one objective. The issue of this party thing, yes, sorry. I get some, sorry. I have some visitors. Let me just attend to them 1 minute here. Sorry. Modu?
Yeah. I have people, yeah, hello?
Sorry. You can continue with the other one. Let me just attend to them.
No, actually, the other guy just dropped, I don't know what is this issue, Habib from the Gambia.
Okay, just wait for me. Oh, thank you. No problem. We're a friend. Good boy.
Building is
My brother.
Building is so much problem.
Building so much problem.
When someone is coming here, and some people like this.
For viewers, just give us like
I don't know why.
we lost one guy. This is a very important topic because what we're trying to do here is we are not trying to point finger at anybody. We're trying to clear where the problem started. As a country, we are responsible for our actions, and we are all included. We are looking at this from
Wi-Fi problem,
education perspective to enlightening of
Wi-Fi inside
instead of
problem, inside
fingers or blaming one individual. We know that we have a collective responsibility here.
Sorry. Modu, just give me 1 minute. I was attending to some people. Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm just addressing the group, before you guys come. So what we are trying to do here is we're trying to sensitize people the real truth, nothing but the truth.
Family.
We are not, gonna sit and
family.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, we are not here to neglect the truth and disown the truth, because at the end of the day, nobody is gonna write on history.
Outside.
This coalition was a great idea. The fact that Ali Fasala said, if he came out and said, choose me as a presidential candidate, some people would have problem with it. If Barrow had came out and said, choose me, some people would have problem with it. They went through a process. The process said that you will not serve the 5 years. We knew the constitution, what it says. But the same constitution gives the ability for the president to resign at any given point. So that clause right there gave the mandate to the coalition leader to choose to resign based on the agreement. So this is what empowers the agreement, not the fact that we have the constitution and we bring in all those after the election is won. That was not the point. The point is that you have to negotiate. Politics is about negotiating and having everybody benefit, not only one side, so that we can develop our nation. But in this case, they have done the one step, which is to accept the first MOU by having the person resign from their party and having the person stand as an independent candidate and having the person agree to the 3 years. So if this was signed and put aside, the second part of the coalition, which Alifa is talking about, the MOU, which Alifa is talking about, is to mandate.
You see, Modu, there is no doubt. There is no doubt. In fact, no Gambian is doubting this, whether the MOU was signed or not. You see, there is no Gambian, no conscious Gambian.
Let me finish what I'm just addressing. So the second part of the MOU was where they should have independent candidate.
Okay.
That independent candidacy and then having a headquarter would mandate the coalition to oversee the president's doings and the power. So this would force the president to do the reform, and the constitution wouldn't have taken this long. We wouldn't have been stuck with a lot of these reforms that is going on up to now. How long does it take to write a constitution? 6 months, you can do it. A constitution like Gambian constitution, how many pages? As a nation, if we don't play reality, we don't face each other in the eye, we will not grow. Somebody has to get up. Some folks has to stand, put their foot down for reality. That's the only way a nation can grow. We have seen Rwanda. We have seen a lot of great countries attacking one another, complaining, backbiting. That will not do it. You have to be real to each other. So we all know where the mess started. We are not here to point finger to any individual. But if you listen to this conversation, you will know really where the mess begins. So now the thing is, how do we solve it from here? How can we fix our Gambia? I think that's why this platform come in, and this is why we are having this discussion. So I will let my panelists to continue on this topic. Go ahead, Kao Yoro.
Yes, like I want to say, you see, the issue of whether the MOU was signed or not, for me, that is not issue for Gambians, because all conscious Gambians know that this MOU was signed. Definitely. People are just playing politics around it. They're just playing politics around it. But all conscious Gambians know that this MOU was signed. Definitely. You see, even Halifa, if you just listen to his last press conference, he explained all the process. You see, how this thing was done and how it was signed. You see, so the issue of whether the MOU was signed or not, people are just playing their politics. You see, but definitely there is no disagreement that the Constitution gives President Barrow 5 years mandate. But the issue is, this is a coalition agreement for a start. You see, this is for a start. You see? So if he decided to force himself to continue for the 5 years, that can be very consequential. Definitely, and that's what DOI is also saying is concerned. DOI is a key stakeholder. Definitely, they are very key stakeholders.
So I have seen the comments here. Some people are saying that 3 years just now is illegal. It's an illegal UDP operation. Lawyer Dabo screw up the whole thing and blame him. Is that a correct statement? Should we blame Dabo? Hello.
Say something.
Yeah, I have seen. I'm reading from the script here. It says that by Tarawale Lamin. It says 3 years. Jotna is an illegal UDP operation. Um, Lawyer Dabo screw up the whole country. There is blame Lawyer Dabo for being selfish. Somebody wrote that on a chat. Is this correct statement? Can you hear me? I don't know what's hello? 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 Can you guys hear me? I guess like we have another guy joining. Habib, are you there? Hello? All right.
Yeah, hello.
You are there, Habib? Okay. Can you go
I
ahead?
lost. Yeah,
You lost us. Yeah. It's a little bit
yeah.
dark around your end. Is it dark in Gambia right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit cloudy and I'm inside, so.
Oh, you are inside. Okay, yeah. Okay, no problem. So people can see your face properly. Yeah, Habib, can you jump in this topic before we conclude? We're talking about the press conference by Doi and their stand on the 3 years journal.
Okay, I mean, what I would just say, just a little bit of it. I'll just start it, I mean, from OJ when he was trying to seek blame on lawyer Usainu Dabo. When he said, like, anybody who just want to, I mean, say, force Barrow to step down after the 3 years, then he must drag those people to court. So they were trying to, I mean, blame Usainu on that. And as of now, like, saying, like, anybody who goes out during the 3 years is unconstitutional, I would say, like, none of the leaders want to take up their responsibilities. Because shifting blames here is not the issue. This is an agreement that we made before going to elections. We all knew about the constitutional term before going to the elections. So if we agreed upon 3 years and the majority of the Gambian people voted for that 3 years, then that agreement should be respected, no matter what. It's not a case that, I mean, somebody can divert. That cannot be. If Barrow wants to divert divert from the agreement, the partners in the coalition should hold him responsible. But if they want to say now, like, the bread and knife is with him, then obviously they are not ready to take up their responsibilities. So we need to hold them all responsible, hold them as hostages, and make sure the agreement stays as it was agreed before the elections. Then obviously, I mean, we need to stick to that.
Okay. So Habib, I know you are in the Gambia. You are on the ground. You see what do you see on the ground? Because right now it looks like the coalition members have been corrupted in the believing that the Barrow should go 5 years, and loosely stepping forward to emphasize the agreement that was put in place. What do you see as a young Gambian? What do you think is in the mindset of the Gambian towards these 3 years?
Okay, all those people who know about, I mean, holding their leaders accountable, they all stand to the, I mean, 3 years agreement. Most of the people that I discussed with who knew about, like, I mean, holding their leaders accountable, they all agreed upon it. Like, when it comes to December, Barrow have to step down. But I mean, there are certain people whom like, anything whatever their party leader says, they are not deemed to challenge their leader, especially when it comes to the people of, I mean, PDYS. Anything what Halifa Salah said is like something perfect. Normally, they don't challenge him, and they don't want to hold him responsible. You can even see now the post that they do make on Facebook, saying, like, for them, they are not with the, I mean, the 3 years. They are waiting on Barrow to go on with his decision. There's something, I mean, which Halifa Salah said, which they are now trying to use, because Halifa is not, I mean, working on to become the leader. because he is using what we say like cheap popularity in politics. Is what he is trying to use. He don't want to take blames, but always try to identify faults without solutions, and this won't take us nowhere as a nation.
Okay, perfect. I mean, I'm glad that, like I said, we are not taking sides here, but we're trying to be facing the reality and challenging the reality and bring it out so our citizens can learn and make conscious decision. Now, you
Yeah.
said that Alifa is not ready to take responsibility. He's looking into like cheap popularity and trying to highlight the faults, which are all good points you made, right? Some people can disagree with that, but what about other people like OJ and OJ and Hussein Dabo, and then what do you call it, Ahmed Ba? Those people also have some stake in this, and they have probably made some steps. What is your
No,
analysis on them towards this 3 years?
no, like for OJ, like he just tried to shift the blame to Usenu, not realizing when the agreement was reached. By then, Usenu was in prison. So if he came out with his idea like Barrow should, go for the 5 years, they should just look. If at all we didn't agree on the 3 years, you are still in prison. So I think it's better you join the group. We achieve what we want as a team, but not just to take that as an excuse and step out.
Okay,
Because
so
like
so
since
you are
then OJ is not trying to bowl, Barrow for the 3 years. He just tried to shift the blames to Usenu and then move on. Ahmad Ba, for me, I don't talk much about him because Ahmad Ba, I know he's not a politician. He's a total clown. I
right,
don't.
right, right, right. Okay.
Normally I don't take him seriously. I don't take him seriously. Though he's having his political party, but we know, like in a normal country, people like Ahmad Ba, they cannot run a political party.
Right. Okay. So now let me ask you something. So since these people fail us, you agree, all of them, including
Yeah,
Usainu Dabo?
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I agree
Because
on that.
the fact of the tactical alliance was Usainu's idea, and then that kind of created a fracture, according to what most people said. As I read from this platform. Okay, now since they are all at fault, what is this? What is the solution moving forward? Because we cannot be complaining. We cannot just be finger pointed. We cannot continue to stay one place. We need our country back. We need to be having a progressive reform. We need to look beyond Barrow. Barrow is one person who is going to be there. I don't know how long, but
Until December.
what about after Barrow? Wouldn't we want a reform system? Wouldn't we want a country that everybody will have a chance to make a difference? Wouldn't we want things to be as fair as we planned? So what is the solution forward? How can we pass this hurdle, Habib? Hello. I don't think he can hear me. Can you hear me, young guy? Habib? And I guess it's the network. I mean, hello. I'm the only one who is staying up because it looks like everybody is Habib, can
No,
you?
for me, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you. I'm getting you.
Yeah, what is the way forward?
What I'm trying to say, the way forward is the election here happening right now. The members of the coalition will turn out to be a single party. We can have primaries within and then a flag bearer to contest in an election. I thought that this triangle would have stayed Gambia as three political parties, but the issue is each member of those parties want to see like they are the ruling class, which normally we have seen it like for good 22 years. APRC was here. They couldn't make a change until when they came together. Then obviously they should have discussed further to see how to unite those parties and make them to be a single make it to be a single party. Like they say, they have Gambia's interests at heart. Then why should they break that coalition again?
Okay. All right. So now, what is the solution?
The solution is how best can the Gambian people try to unite them, or else the party followers make sure they change their leaders, because those people, to be honest with you, they cannot lead this country because they already came in a platform where they could have united and move Gambia forward, put the country into chaos, because anything that happens in December, if it turns violent, they are the people to be held responsible.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what are we citizens? What is our take on this? Because we have leaders. They are not the only people in the country. We have citizens as well. You and I. What
Yeah.
are our state? What are our take on this? What is our responsibility? What did we also contributed to this mess? Why did we allow this?
Now, some the people who don't know about the coalition, who saw a change, are the people who want to capitalize on it. And those who created the change wanted to step back and just leave them to do what they are doing, because they are most of the people who were, who are claiming from the constitution, like, the constitutional mandate is like 5 years. Those people were not among those who created the coalition. They were not. So they are the people trying to change the narratives of the coalition. Most of us should not agree upon that. It's either we hold them all accountable and push them out in December, or we encourage them to make sure, let them take up their full responsibilities and make sure Barrow steps down in December, as agreed.
So now, again, Mr. Habib, you are in the Gambia, in the ground. What I'm saying here is that we have a situation now. Barrow is not stepping down, according to him, and 3 years Jodna, you have now. Before it was some other groups. Now UDP, is behind it full force. It's gonna go ahead. The country will be chaotic if we didn't do anything. If Barrow hasn't changed his mind from now up to December, these leaders fail us. Of course, I agree with you 100%. All of them in the coalition, all these leaders on the platform, right, in the political arenas are not capable. I believe on that claim, because if they are, they would have made a difference by now. Okay, but
Of course.
right now, your idea is for us to sit with these leaders and let us force them to change their mind and hold Barrow accountable to leave the office. Is that your take?
Yeah, of course.
So we have to engage these coalition partners as citizens.
Yeah.
That is the way out.
Yes. Yeah, sure, of course.
What about international community? Shouldn't we engage them as well?
Yeah, we can. Engage the international community, but they can only support us based on what we agreed upon. Now, because you can see the economic. You can see the economic here. The economic, they knew about the 3 years agreement, so they cannot push further than that. They cannot stop the citizens when it comes to Barrow have to leave that office. They are not here to defend Barrow. They are here to defend the will of the people, and the will of the people is like 3 years. Is what people voted for. We all knew about the constitution.
Okay.
That's the will of the people.
So what we are taking from this whole discussion is that we're gonna have to engage our leaders again, and including Barrow, and do more negotiation, because the plan to come out, which is the citizenry rights for the Gambians, with permits, of course. Now, if they are denied permit,
no. Point of correction: with or without a permit, because we might apply for a permit and the police will deny giving the permit. It's just like we will not go out without demanding for a permit. We will make sure we will have the copy of the letters copied in various institutions. The letter sent to the IG for the permit will be sent into various institutions in case if they denied to give out the permit. Like the mistake they did in 2016 during the protest of Solo Sunday, just having the concept like even if we apply for a permit, they will not to us. And they go on with that protest was the reason why they could have jailed Dabo. He wasn't able to be defended at court. If at all they
yeah, but
apply for the permit, they can still continue. It is their right to protest. And then if they are arrested and then taken, obviously they will show the copy of the letter. So then the police will be held responsible for denying them the permit and giving them security, to protest. This is the issue here.
okay, so you are saying that even
And
without
for the December, it's not like the way they are saying or the way they are thinking it's going to happen. It's a different issue. We cannot do the mistake of April 10. Going to Westfield, having a clash with the security forces, and they kill it, innocent people, and nothing came out of it. No, it's a different issue. If we meet at Westfield, we are heading to Banjul. He have to leave that office.
okay, I don't know how
That's the issue here.
I cannot even picture how the whole thing would be. But my question to you, that you are in the ground in the Gambia now. The
It
preparation
seems like the connection is down on your side.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
No, the connection is down on your side.
Yeah, hello? Can you hear me now? Habib, can you hear me? Hello? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No, I can't.
It's coming from yours because I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Hello?
I can't hear you.
You can hear me now? Is it clear now? Is the connection clear? Hello?
Hello?
Is the connection clear now?
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, after.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Can you check your connection?
No, the connection is low on your side, so I can't hear you.
No, can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Hello?
Is it
Can
better?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is it better now?
Okay, now you are back.
Okay. So what I'm saying is point of correction. So whatever happened in December, now us citizens, because we don't want any problem in our country, we want this thing to be resolved. Like you said, we have to engage these coalition leaders. If you guys know anybody that is your party leader, engage them, talk to them. Let's negotiate. Let's negotiate and let's sensitize our people the importance of the agreement. I agreed fully with the people who are saying that the agreement stands because we all know about the constitutional implication. You cannot change the game. You cannot change the rule of the game during the game. You can only change the rule of the game before the game started. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Hello? Hello? Habib? Habib?
Hey.
Can you hear me? I don't know what's happened, man. Can you hear me? looks like the connection is still is.
I think I lost you on the connection because I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, young guy? Can you hear me? Hello? I can hear you from my end. What is that? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? All right. I think like our connection is going bad. For our viewers, 1 second. Let's make sure that. Hello? 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 Hello?
Okay, I can. Hello.
Okay. So now, what we are emphasizing? Can you hear me now? Try to be at one place so we can get you.
The connection on your side is low, so
It's low.
can you hear me now?
I am always hearing you. I don't think it's on my side. I am always hearing you. I mean, my volume is up. Everything is up. I think it's your internet connection. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Habib? Hello?
I'm not hearing you.
I don't know what happened. I mean, like because the connection is I mean, like the internet. I can hear you loud and clear. It has to be. Can you check your device?
Damn shit.
Can you go out and come back again? Hello? Can you go out and come back again? We wanna make sure that we don't lose our viewers. Can you go? Hello? Habib. All right. It looks like two people have been dropping out because of connection issue. We're just gonna stay for a little bit and see if they can reconnect back. I'm trying to reach them. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. I mean, this is all technical issues. Yeah. So just to summarize what we've been discussing, and we have other topics to discuss, is we're trying to analyze the meeting that they had in the press conference about their position and on the 3 years. What the analysis and what the analysis that we are getting from the folks on the panel is that it's a collective responsibility. DOI is coming out, laying down this claim that they laying down the claim that they are not part of it. I mean, they are the knife under the cake is on Barrow's hand. So that is something that is challenged by some of our panelists. They think that those should take responsibility on other party members, I mean other coalition partners as well. Habib, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm here with
Okay.
you.
Yeah, usually when that happens, you have to go out and come back in. Now, we're
Yeah.
trying to get Euro back, but just to summarize this topic so we can move on to something else. Please stay in one place so we don't lose connection. Is important because we have our viewers. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, the network is going in and out again. I don't know if it is my end or kind of doubt it because I'm still connected. But anyway, just to summarize this topic that we are discussing, we just want Gambians to be, looking at this whole picture. I mean, there's no problem that cannot be solved. We need to educate our people. We shouldn't take things in our own hands. We should be acting with responsibilities. We should also obey the laws. We should engage and negotiate and agree to terms. We shouldn't just change the rules in the middle of the game. If we agree on something, people went to the pool, and Gambians have been sensitized that Barrow is staying for 3 years, that should be respected. That is not a hard thing to do, because when this coalition is membership, I mean coalition leadership is selected, every leader had an option to say, I'm not interested in the leadership because it's 3 years. I cannot serve 3 years. I want to serve 5 years. The constitution say 5 years. Barrow has that option. So why would Barrow turn around and say the constitution say 5 years? You were there. You read the constitution. If you don't read the constitution, then you don't have the audacity to become a president. If you cannot understand the Gambian constitution, that is something that should be in someone's head before you run the country, because that's what governing our laws. So Barrow has the right to opt out, but he did not. So that means he agreed to the agreement. So you cannot use that and say that the agreement is not constitutional. Now, Alpha's argue, Alpha's an argument of saying that is a moral issue. Well, why is it that when they were going around the country and telling people about Barrow will stay for 3 years, why they didn't say it's a moral issue? Why Alpha didn't come out and say it's a moral issue? So the government people know that Barrow has the knife and the cake in his hand. So that way, if they have stated that, then people would have the rights to see whether they would vote for the coalition or not. So I think they all messed up in this sense. You understand? The coalition they discussed, they didn't tell us exactly what the agreement was, and now they put the country into chaos. So I agree with Habib on the fact that they are responsible. We as citizens, we have to hold them responsible, because now we have this disagreement in front of us, and we don't know how to unite behind one idea or one thing. So I will continue to discuss before December, trying to talk to the stakeholders, trying to sensitize our citizens, so that we will not do this in a way that will put our country into jeopardy, because there will be life after Barrow. There will be life after presidency. There will be life after this government. And we want that life to be very well, enjoyed by all Gambians. We want to make sure that everybody has this, opportunity to serve their country in any position. We want to make sure that we do reforms so that our country people will not take advantage of the system. We want to make sure that the constitution, there is term limits in place. The electoral reforms, 51%, and so forth. We want to make sure that the citizens are given priority, not foreigners are given priority over the citizens. We want to make sure that the youth are empowered. We want to make sure that the women are empowered to serve equal pay. We want to make sure that the minorities, minority tribes are all represented. We want to make sure that the children future are shaped. We want education, healthcare improve. We want to make sure that the pay would commemorate the expenses of a household. You cannot pay me $3,000 and my household expenses is 20,000. Where am I going to get that money from? We have to focus on pay raise. All this money pouring in the country, we have to look into that. We have to be realistic about our taxes. We cannot have all this opportunity not collecting taxes at the right places and put it in the right projects. Tax collection is very important. Gambia is taxes are loosely collected. This is what make a country rich. We have to make sure that our port, corruption is minimized. We cannot eradicate corruption, but we can sensitize each other that let's put our country first. But all that has to come from the fact that people are, the price of food comes down to the people's level, what they can afford. If you have a bag of rice for 1,500 and I get paid 3,000, 4,000, how am I going to pay my rent and buy a bag of rice for my family? Common sense. Gambia problem is bigger than all of us. Let's see, we have a lot of intellectuals in the Gambia. We have a lot of highly educated people in the Gambia. But the fact is, we cannot come together. We have a lot of ideologies, but everybody is scattered. Individually, you succeed, but as a whole, you will not. That's what that is the explanation of what Gambia is all about. So it's high time now we put all these ideas together. People leave their ego and their self-interest. Okay, whatever you can work and achieve, that's yours. But collectively, let's make sure that we don't take advantage of our country. You're having somebody making 5,000, 6,000 a month and driving Mercedes Benz, going on a vacation. Where is that getting my money from? This thing has to be. We have to get anti-corruption board in place. One time I saw Sierra Leonean president having conversation with the president of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, and he's saying that when he mentioned to him about anti-corruption, and he's saying that we are not there yet. What kind of language is that? Where were you not there yet?
No, Mr. Sari, sorry, Mr. Sorry, can I help you with that? Like when he said, we are not yet to that. But do you see any progress with the acting president Adama Barrow at the State House? Do you see any progress of Gambia with him?
No, I don't want to make it so personalized, but I'm just trying to say that language was not appropriate because we are there the day that we had the change in the Gambia, we are there because that's what we fought for.
That's what I'm trying to tell you here. Do you believe or do you see Barrow to be the person who can give us what we want?
No, again, but I don't. When it comes to analyzing this whole situation, Barrow didn't come to give. Barrow came for reform and transitional presidency. That's the way I understood it. If anybody want to take it another way around, it's fine. But to me, as an individual, in my own humble opinion, he came as a transitional president. So I'm not really scrutinizing his education or his capabilities. I just think that we fail as a country by not holding him accountable to the coalition principles. Because when we are picking Barrow, we could have picked you. We could have picked you as our leader. We could have picked when we are picking Barrow, we could have picked even a stick just to take Yajame out. So we didn't. Yeah, it's not about. We didn't scrutinize his education. We didn't scrutinize anybody's. What we did was we wanted somebody who could win. So
this is where
for 3 years. So I think
I make a big mistake. I mean, you see, I mean, this mistake is a collective mistake. Is a collective mistake because Gambia, we have, I mean, this attitude of undermining, and this undermining attitude have to change. Because if you see, like, I mean, those who struggle for the change actually are the people who are being blamed right now. Those of you who are living in diaspora are the people who made this change to be possible. Because without social media, still there will be no change in this country. Still Jam is in office. Even if they come together, still Jam is in office. But now, who are they blaming now? They are blaming those in the diaspora for telling the citizens on the to hold the leaders, our leaders accountable. The diversity that we experience in the diaspora is the same diversity that you want to bring in back to our people. I mean, which is a reality. That's what we want, because we are not just, trying to say like we are Gambians, so we have to stay in the, in the level of Gambians. It does not make any sense. We are Gambians that want to raise to the standard of the world, not only from a third class, country, but to a first class world. But without the diaspora, we cannot achieve that. We cannot. That's absolutely, we can't. But now they are the people that we are blaming. Create an anti-corrupt office, you said we are not yet to that. Then here's the corruption. Here's the corruption.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So
how many cars do you normally see when he's going? How many cars are we seeing when he's going out from State House to airport, or from airport going back to State House? How many cars do we see on his convoy? 40-something cars in a convoy. Are you saving saving the country from expenses? He is not. And that's corruption. Why do you need all those cars? Why? You don't need it.
So again, we're just gonna wrap this topic up. It's taking longer than expected. We lost one of our members, Yoro. But again, Abib, thank you for your time on this. The next topic, I think we should move towards is the arrest of Killer Ice and the anti-crime unit. I think this was a very, very unfortunate situation, and that we're gonna go back to this debate of why are we going back to Jammeh era and all that. I understand the magnitude of the offense created that day during the protest by burning the house of the police head. Now, don't you think that us as a citizen, we have some responsibility when we go to these protests? I don't know, I'm pretty sure they don't have license to protest. They didn't have the permit. Now, I am an advocate of giving permit to people, as long as they're not gonna obstruct public space or traffic. You can have small gathering that doesn't require a permit. That's a common sense thing, and it's across the board like that, in other part of the world. Now, but the Gambian problem is that if you request a permit, there's a discretion that you might not be given if it is not the interest of the government or the leaders. So that's why it's going to be really tough to get permits in the Gambia. So, and people's right, they have rights to come out and express in a peaceful way. But the way this protest went, it was very, very serious. And our citizens, we need to talk to them, our youths. Just because we have New Gambia, just because we have freedom, we cannot abuse it. We cannot allow people to come and destroy our people's properties, especially burning the file of the police officers. We have to be governed by laws. I agree with the expression of freedom to express oneself, but I will not agree with violence. Anything is debatable, and anything should be allowed to be expressed. What I also disagree with is the police, the way they go about giving permits. So, in order to counter that, people should just come up with small portion and demonstrate without permit, but they have to do it, peacefully and at a spot that would not block public transportation or public gathering or public affairs. I don't know, what is your take on that? Yeah, Habib. It looks like I lost you. Get them ready. Let them get ready. I mean, we can get that. Yeah, Habib. Yeah, I think Habib, just dropped. So folks, what I was just saying is about our collective responsibility as citizens. We cannot come and destroy our own thing because out of anger. Okay, I mean, if we police arrest somebody and the person die, what we should have done is investigate, follow up with the investigation, organize lawyers. Okay, we have a lot of groups in the Gambia that should have access to lawyers. Do the investigation, go to the court. Okay, we have a lot of groups in the Gambia. We should be able to find lawyers and investigate the case. But just because police detained somebody and that person passed away or died from police brutality doesn't warrant us to go and burn places. That is that is premature. But at the same time, police shouldn't use violence to even detain somebody up to the extent that person died from them. So we should avoid this excessive force. Any officer who use excessive forces should be tried and put to jail. That would deter that. But our citizens also should. Now the arrest of Killer Ice and the youths being just picked up. I don't know what is the depth of information that they get, but you cannot just arrest somebody and deny them for bail, especially with this group that they just arrested. They should be granted the bail, and they should be bring to court, and then let them have their lawyers and find out what is it that they have done wrong. So we cannot go back to the days of Jammeh whereby people arrest you without questioning or without bail. I think we passed that. So what is your take?
Okay, when it comes to that protest, is different from those protests which you can just go and apply for a permit and stuff like that, right? Because they were emotional, they lost a partner, and they were emotional. Possibility is what triggers the protest on that day, because it came as a surprise, just like the way that death come to people. It's how it occurs. That's why you can even see unprepared gunmen as security forces on that day, putting on like their normal clothes and then holding an AK-47. You were seeing it
Right.
on the videos. You were seeing it.
Right.
So like neither the police nor the civilians were expecting the protest on that day, or going for an extra mile to burn down the house of Gorgibu is a question that needs to be answered. But who are responsible for that? For burning the house? Who are the people and capitalize on it, try to destroy Gorgibu? He's working on an anti-crime. You can see that they're arresting people and releasing them without taking them to court. Is that the duty of the anti-crime? If you arrest people based on crimes, nobody should bail them from the anti-crime office. They should pass them to the police, and then they process them to court. But they arrest people within 2-3 days. They are being bailed, and then you see them back on the ground. So they are the ones encouraging the crimes in the country. The moment you say anti-crime, then you arrested people. Like at times they arrest people with cannabis, with burglary and stuff like that. But within few days, you see these people on the street again, without taking them to court. How did those people leave their office? They collected something from those people, and then leave them back on the streets. So they expect like things will change. It will not change. These people that they arrest, obviously we wait until tomorrow, and we see one, whether they will take them to court, two, whether they will release them on bail, because they can't hold them more than the 72 hours as stated in the constitution, because they didn't commit a crime which will warrant them to stay in that place. I mean, to the remand wing, where we can take them to the remand wing without, I mean, having a lawyer or so. It's either you bail them until when the police is done, you call them back to court, but you cannot send them to remand wing because they didn't create that crime that warrant you to, I mean, keep them at remand. They didn't create it. Those that they arrested, it's possible, like within themselves, there are people who might say these are the people who suggested, because you know we have that problem. I mean, within the Gambians, we have so many people within the Gambians that who are very dangerous.
Right. Okay. So you are saying
They
that
are just like, I mean,
no,
grills
but you
in
are
the next minute.
now you're saying that that you're saying that they are arresting people and unveiling them at the same time without any
Hmm?
I mean people are on the street and then the crimes that kind of like you know is to just encourage them to commit more crimes. So are you saying that what we're saying is that the burning of the demonstration that happened, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about what like how the police
To
operate.
say is, yeah, we are trying to say here the possibility of burning Gorgin Boob's house is not, I mean, due to the death of Usman Dabo. Is due to the people that he encountered with before. It's possible they are the people who hold.
So 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 you are telling me that
Say here.
so you are telling us that so people took advantage of the protest and went and did a more offense.
Yes, it's a possibility.
Okay, so this is why we need our
It's,
security. This is why we need to work on our security in the Gambia, because now the two things are tied. Nobody knew what actually happened. We are saying that
yeah,
demonstration caused the burning, but if the burning is caused by some other sentiment taking advantage of that, this is why we need a clear. We need people to be sensitized that they are responsible for their actions, not in the name
yeah,
of democracy. You cannot say that like all this is democracy. We are protesting, and then make everybody look bad. The fact of the matter is there are laws that govern protest, and there are laws that government to protect the protesters. Now,
yeah,
having people in the like bad people in the society taking advantage of anger. I mean, they are taking their anger on another avenue. Is causing more problem to our freedom and then to our country. So us as citizens who are looking for better government or governance, who are looking for our reforms, we need to speak about this. We need to condemn this. We need to make sure that we hold our citizens as accountable for these actions and set up a good example. What do you think?
yeah. That, I mean, just, I mean, reflect yourself to the Faraba incident. Before the protest in Faraba, there was, I mean, the Environmental Committee of the National Assembly have, I mean, given a warning like, okay, they have suspended the mining for the time being, but that doesn't stop the mining from going on. And when those people protested, the security personnel were there, and some people lost their lives. But who did they hold? I mean, responsible for that?
Exactly. So that was another missteps on poor leadership, like I
The
said, on our leaders. Because once you are
junior
given
officers
right, so once you are given the grand
who
light,
are leaders,
mhm,
they would sit in their offices
mhm,
and not trying to use it to unite the people or to make people to understand the betterment of peace. They will try to say, if they do this, I will show them I am. I am is never a solution. I am will only resort to violence.
exactly. So now, what is your
That
advice?
Faraba incident.
What is your
If at all
advice?
the interior minister was arrested, Dulake was arrested, then this other similar you are seeing won't happen.
Okay. Now, I also disagree with the fact that the government stands on the verdict of that. I think people should be hold responsible for that action, even if it means light sentencing them. They should pay some price. Now, to negotiate everything under the rock and let it go is not really solving our problem. See, we have to deal with problems accordingly, not kind of paste, cut and paste or patch it, because it will come back again. Like you said,
This is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, that is true. Now, moving
When you are
forward. Hmm.
following the due process,
Hmm.
I mean to protect.
Hmm. Go ahead.
But you can see the environment committee of the National Assembly
Hmm.
have given the letter. Okay, for the time being, as a recommendation for the time being, the man is suspended for the time being until the issue is being resolved.
Hmm.
And that
Printing this.
the owner of the mining company, like
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah, cannot do it in the front.
and from the interior minister, he didn't make his stance.
Hmm.
The police IGPs decided to take the law in their own hands.
Right.
And they end up using the security forces on their own brothers to kill their own brothers. That politics won't work. That system of politics won't work. It won't take us nowhere.
Okay. All right. So now
Just because they are
again,
giving
again,
power.
we let's focus on. We already spoke about the responsibility of our leaders. Now let's focus on us as citizens. What do you think we should be communicating, especially the youth like yourself, to maintain peace? And then people to be sensitized of their rights, not to overuse their rights, and not to act, funny with their with certain, thinking that they're having. That brings us about New Gambia. What is your advice?
Okay, normally, in whatever you will involve, you know to know exactly why am I involved in this? Where does my right starts and where does my right stops? Because some people, they will go out on the street not for the purpose of the protest, but there is something that they will benefit from it. One, they will use the crowd and then steal what they want to steal. Because you can even see it in political rallies when people will be going out for a rally, others will be there to snatch people's phone and run. So if I told you, you're looking at the crowd that way, then obviously you might make a mistake. So for those organizing, protests should always know, okay, they are the people calling out. They are the one, writing for a permit. So that obviously they are the ones to be, held responsible if at all there's any destruction made on the way. Then obviously they will organize their crowd, sensitize them exactly what they are to do and for how long are they to be on the street. And the police officers, they should know they are there to secure the people, the life of the people, and the properties of the people. Then using tear gas and guns to disperse the people is not a wise move totally.
Right. Okay.
And they use their tear gases on the people, then people use stones, and those stones, where will they stop? You don't know.
Right. So this police
So
also, the law enforcement should be or no, should be educated about when to use force.
yeah,
When they see that the crowd is getting out of hand. But if they try to use force unnecessarily, then there will be reaction from the crowd, and that will create more problems.
yeah, no problems.
All
So
right.
that's
Thank you.
the reason why you
And
have
you
this.
should also make sure that the organizers of this protest make sure that other people don't take advantage of the protest and go and steal or try to
Yeah,
use anger of whatever incident they had before with someone prior to the protest, to use that to kind of harm that
Yeah.
person. So
Yeah.
everything,
Sure.
so we need to teach our youths about this, and then I'm pretty sure you as a youth and on the ground, these are things that we need to communicate, and we will have special topic on this, how to address the youths about their civic rights, and also
Yeah.
how to help us become more productive, having to get our points across at the same time, able to achieve the kind of freedom that we deserve. So it's unfortunate with Killer Ice situation. What do you think about him in passing? Did he do anything wrong to deserve to be arrested, Killer Ice?
No, actually, like, I mean, why is he arrested? I don't know actually, because like, if I told, it's like, I mean, regarding to this July protest, because normally, I mean, he walks around the black market. Normally, he's at the black market normally at times. So maybe the police will think like, I mean, he is the one who was trying to push the youths, because I mean, like I tell you, there might be people who were there with them before the protest, and after the protest, those might be the people who gave the police the information to arrest them. Gambia, we have a very critical situation in Gambia here. That's why walking out alone, you can sit in a group, but like the moment you are moving, just try to move alone, because of the system that people create, especially within the youths. It's a system that they create within the youths. It's possible like he's arrested because, like, I mean, he normally bills at the black market, but they cannot just arrest him, I mean, keep him like that just because they think like he is part of the team. Because with this, I mean, police brutality is something that, I mean, people had, I mean, from him, right?
Okay.
So
It's like
walking,
he's like one of those guys who speak who speaks against that.
brutality.
So that's why
So
probably they taking that this as an opportunity to kind of deal
yeah,
with him.
yeah.
Isn't that bringing us to the same scenario that Jammeh used to use on our citizens?
No, for me, I didn't see like, I mean, the only difference that I see between the Jammeh scenario and now is like, I mean, during Jammeh, it was the soldiers and the NIA, and now is the anti-crime and the police. This is it. The only difference is like those who were doing it and now those who are doing it. But it's the same way the people were treated in Jammeh in Jammeh era by the security. It's the same way that it's, I mean, people are facing again.
So we need to work on communicating, have a dialogue with the security services and then personnel about how to handle our citizens, or maybe they need more training.
It's not about, I mean, they need more training. The police, they always try to blame their salaries and stuff like that. It's what they always try to blame. Because normally they will, I mean, raid in the ghettos, arrest the youth for smoking cannabis and stuff like that. And they will work with them less than 100 meters, take money from them, take their cannabis, and then leave them.
So
And that's,
in other words, poverty, our coming back to our salary issue, and the people are not getting paid well, contributed to all this problem we're having in the Gambia.
yeah. Because
So
I mean, you can calling out some youths as criminals is them as calling the police like criminals.
so working with the police, and then giving them money so that you can sell your stuff, then the police would make fish money.
It's something that normally happens.
So this is a continuous problem in the Gambia. So that means we're not gonna grow with that kind of life.
Yeah, we gotta grow. Because like for me, I mean, it's not like, I mean, I'm new within the system of how they do their stuff or so. Because there are certain people whom I know by that time, the military personnel were the people who were bringing their cannabis for them. They will come and stop their car, drop the box of cannabis, and then take their money and leave. It's
Okay.
people that I know.
Okay. So this is I think we need we need a total reform in our security services. Um, Because if they are even encouraging these criminals at the same time, using that to kind of elevate their way of living or their standard of living by getting money from them, then I think the problem is not gonna get solved.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Most of these dealers, some of them, like, I mean, if you buy from them, like 200-300 meters, the police cannot arrest you. If you buy from them, like 200-300 meters from the place that you bought it, the police cannot arrest you. But after that, after that distance, the police can arrest you if you meet up with them, because those people will be giving, I mean, the police money and stuff like that. We all
Right.
know, like,
I think we are all I think we are all kind of yeah.
one by one, what you know, like, he's a drug dealer.
Yeah, I think this police problem, we need to strike this very hard. Because I remember when I was in the Gambia, a situation. I think my driver's one of my my driver's license was I don't know, something. He need to do something with his license, or no vehicle, I don't know, permit or something. He need to go and change it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then the police just get into the car, and after a while, he say, "We're not gonna move." And when the driver spoke with him later on, after 20 minutes, I see that
Mhm.
the driver let him. The police let him go. So you are definitely right. Is a lot of this happening in the Gambia. So, and things are not being enforced. People are using their
Mhm.
position to to get their food money.
Yeah.
Um, because they are not getting enough. Everybody is really not, definitely encouraging the same theft, and they're also encouraging the same, practice. Legal. Like unlawful practice. So that's why we are not getting anywhere. So now I think what the social media, we in the social media, we have to be very, careful the way we come up with this topic with these things, addressing these things, because Killer Ice arrest was all over the place, and people are associating it with Jame. Everything's happening in Jame era is still happening, is coming back again. But people might not understand that maybe Killer Ice is arrested based on his advocacy, or which is even wrong, even though he advocates, for youths, to know their rights or whatever. It's wrong to arrest him or based on that. But perhaps there are prior things that the police are targeting him, which even is also wrong. So in other words, we don't know the inside of the arrest, but the way the social media go about things, they make judgment before actually finding the truth, and then this create problems. What do you
Of
think?
course. I mean, normally, emotion. Gambia, we should stop dealing with emotion. Like, I mean, we cannot do justice with emotion.
That's true.
Emotionally, yeah, it's what, I mean, like, is the reason, like, I mean, Gambia, we are facing all these kind of problems. I might say, someone will just arrested, and then people come out emotionally to condemn instead of verifying to find out the truth. But with this emotional, I mean, judgment, attack just, it will take us nowhere.
Okay, all right.
This is
So
something that have to change.
that is the point.
Especially those, those acting as reporters on social media, they should go on the ground, find out about the facts, know the reasons for the arrest and all those stuffs before they publish.
That is true. I'm gonna be definitely advocating for that. In days to come. I think we
But
just
I
cannot.
mean, it's something that they are not doing.
Yeah, we just cannot.
Normally, they will publish, then you.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the individual who would definitely you know put that across. We cannot just be publishing things. We hear killer ISIS arrested. Boom. You know. It's the police. They did this. You have to find the the root cause of the problem. Otherwise, social media is so quick that people can make judgments without actually getting to the point, to the bottom of a situation. And sometimes
Yeah.
people in the ground, we have to engage them. We in the diaspora, we cannot just talk anything that comes out of our mind, or what we feel like emotionally without engaging people like yourself who is in the ground, who have more information than what we see here on social media. So we need to do a better job as a citizen. Again, let's promote positivity. Let's promote unity. It's not easy. We have a young dispensation. We have a young democracy. We are disappointed in our leaderships. We learning, but I guess engaging and talking and having a platform like this would really help us at least move to another level. So I want to just we will finish this because since we lost, Euro and some of our members were unable to join, but we would talk a little bit about deforestation. Our forests are really dying. Gambia, we don't have enough rain. People are not, the trees are scarce all over the place. They don't have many trees, when you go to the provinces. What is your take as a young guy? What is your take on that?
I mean, what I would like to say on that is like, I mean, when it comes to the environment, certain people, they care less about the environment. Certain countries, they have very big forests and stuff. It's due to the, I mean, land size of the country. But Gambia, due to the land size of the country, then we need to respect this I mean, small forest that we have and try to create more forest within the big cities. We cannot just say, okay, like, I mean, just like around Unum area, like the Nyambai forest. You can see how it is. It's almost gone because when they cut down trees, they don't replace trees. And normally, if you cut one tree, you should normally replace
Right.
it with two, because now you have a bigger space for two trees. And with this other forest that they are trying to change now, like following this too much of real estate, we should, I mean, really focus on that. Because this all land grabbing is the greed with these real estates. And how much if the government earning from these real estate companies? How much is the government earning from these real estate companies? Very little compared to what is, I mean, the landowners are buying their lands to the, I mean, from the real estate companies. It's like, I mean, the companies are making more money whilst they are abusing their staffs and making us to lose certain things like the environment. We are losing the environment through this, I mean,
Right.
I mean,
I agree with you.
we
Yeah.
are losing it. And paying their staffs, to be honest with you, like, it's very crazy with this 5% system that they create. But how long? Like somebody paying a land at, I mean, 100,000, then you bring in a client, you have to pay like, I mean, 5% of that. 5% of the 100,000 within 3 years. How long will it take for you to, I mean, receive that 5%? How long? But with this environment, we need to know something. The Minister of Environment need to take up the full responsibility and know, okay, this, I mean, this is my area. What can I do for my people now and for the future generation? How can I protect the environment for now and for the future generation? Because anything that you are calculating, without calculating the future, then obviously you are not fit to be, I mean, in a leadership position. Because leadership is not about today. Leadership is about what you do today that the future will benefit from. That's about leadership.
Right.
But everything, the moment somebody, I mean, meets the president and talks with the president, then just a phone call. You cannot defend your ministry anymore. You will say, yes, the order is from the president, and then you are done.
Okay. So
Tell the president the advantage of the environment.
right. So we have to educate our people moving forward, and then about like not replacing the trees when
Then
we
he will know.
right. So you have a very good point. I mean, I think places like Nyambai Forest and in the Combo area, a lot of places, this real estate agent, the estate agents are just clearing the place. I've been there myself, and that
Yeah.
they deforesting our country. They are
Mhm.
building estates, and these estates, once we lose trees, there's a tendency that we're gonna lose a lot of rainfall.
Yeah.
And then we don't plant trees. We don't,
Mm-hmm.
each individual house should have around
Mm-hmm.
two or three trees around, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then we should also monitor the amount of land people own. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, we should also, because if everybody want to have lands, we will have no land. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
we will not have no forests in the Gambia,
We have no forest and no farms.
no farms.
No
So
farm.
the government need to come to a point, and people need to start building up. I mean, I know the
Safe
money
space.
a lot of money, building a story building. But if you want to take, we have the whole space, up to take,
Mm-hmm.
build on top of it and then expand instead of
Yeah.
expanding on, physical land. I mean, this is really killing our trees. That's why we have
Mm-hmm.
this shortage of link. We can sit and pray and say God is gonna, we go to the masjid and then pray for rain and all that stuff. But that's not gonna realistically. Science already show us that it has to do with the trees and the forest.
Yeah.
Before, if you see, the Combo area used to have a lot of rain before in the past,
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 years ago. But everything is
Yeah.
getting reduced. A Badibu area used to have a lot of rain. But now, if you see all those things is being reduced, it's because of the deforestation. So I think young
Mm-hmm.
people like yourself on the ground, and then we have to engage the
Yeah.
environmental, ministry and other ministry, and the government itself and the president should know this, that we have to set
Mm-hmm.
regulation in the parliament to make sure that our environment is protected and people don't have to go over grid of land. I want to own 400 acre, 400 by 300, 400 by
Yeah.
400. If you're gonna do that, make sure you grow some trees there. Make sure that you do. I mean, like, you don't just build houses, and at the end of the day, there's no trees, and then we're gonna run. Our rainfalls will be affected. So
Yeah.
I think this is a key issue that we will continue to discuss. I'm pretty sure is a lot of people would have a lot other ideas, but my take on it is, I'd
Yeah.
like to go and do more planning of trees,
Mhm.
and also
Yeah.
work on, having bring consciousness, you know, to people about
Mhm.
deforestation, to make sure that, like,
Yeah.
they should be replacing the trees if they use it for any other things, they should be replacing them. So that brings us to the end of this program. It's an hour and a half event. Talk show that we are doing. This is just the beginning. Habib,
Yeah.
it's good to have you on board. We last time we had many people on the panel, but due to the short notice and also due to the fact that various time differences and also the network, we weren't able to get as many people in the panel. But we do this every fourth Sunday and then third Sunday of the month.
Okay.
So you just joined the New Gambia platform, which is a platform that enlightens, Gambians of their civic responsibility and rights, and also discuss about issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so fair and square. So I would definitely let you go and thank you for your time. We're gonna do more of this, like I said, in coming months, especially before December, just to
Okay.
sensitize our people and then share, our ideas and opinions. Hopefully, the government listens. Hopefully, our people listen, so we can have a better Gambia.
Sure.
What is
Inshallah.
your last take on this word of for the viewers?
Yeah. I mean, our citizens, and then we will just say like our citizens, not just mean. I mean, the civilians also. Those holding the just like that, like in that office that they are serving, they are not there to serve themselves, but they are there to serve the people. If it's, I mean, if the people on the ground feel like okay, they are really, I mean, safe and secure, then obviously in their position that they are serving, they are safe and secure. If they are using their, I mean, positions to give the people the nightmares, let them know the same nightmares will hunt them and they will not sleep. Because this is about the country. We are all here to develop our country together. but not to, to treat the general population in factions. You cannot develop a country based on factions. It's just like having a man with two wives and their children, but trying to, take the responsibility of only one wife and leaving the other woman aside. The problem that man faces is the same thing that a government that want to rule on the people based on division. These are my people, I care about them. These are not my people, I don't care about them. Obviously, it won't take us nowhere. The environment minister, the minister of land, the minister of interior, they should brace up and know they have challenges that they are to face. They are not there like to please the president. They are there to secure the country now and for the future generation. Because when it comes to the future, we are considering our children and their children. It's what we are considering about the future, not only about us. But if the environmental minister have to fail based on deforestation, the fishing, you can see, the pollution of the sea, you can say it. We are saying it. But what is the stake? He have to know, like, okay, he is not there just to collect salaries. He is there to pave a better future for the country. The Minister of Land should know, Gambia, we need to see what's best for us now and for the future. But the way they are, dealing with the land issue, to be honest with you, totally, the future of the country is at stake. And for the Minister of Interior, he have to know, okay, the security of the people is on him. So he have to know exactly how to deal with his security personnel so that they can treat the citizens fairly. Because those, security personnel, they are our brothers and our sisters in uniform. Then we cannot be threat on them, and they should not be threat on us. But if they want to, be threat on us based on their uniform, then obviously, on our civility, then obviously we can be threat on them. And we don't want to have that in the Gambia. We want to respect everybody based on what you, where you are working, and how best you are trying to put, something for the country to move forward. But if you want to use your position to suppress the people, then obviously people to use their position to suppress you. This is what we have to know.
Very
so
good.
obviously, we have to come together and build the country as one. We have to come together. That togetherness is like knowing exactly, where we are right and accepting where you are wrong. Accept opinions of the people, listen to people, then obviously you will benefit from listening to the people, because people, listening to the people obviously will give you, a sense of direction. Then you will know exactly where you are heading to. But without listening to the people, it will be very difficult. Condemning people, hey, don't say this or stop, then obviously you cannot be a leader. That's another thing that people have to know. You cannot condemn people. You have to listen to them to know exactly what they are trying to say. On the perspective that you understand them, you tell them, okay, this is how I understand you, but I think this is the way it's supposed to be. Then let's try this way and see. That's the way forward. That's what I have for the people.
Okay, thank you very much. You are Gambian on the ground, and you seems to know a lot of things happening. Again, the take of this this talk show today, this is our start. We just want to emphasize to everyone that every first Sunday and third Sunday of the month, you look out for us on our platform, New Gambia platform, on Facebook and WhatsApp. So what we're trying to take from this discussion is, first, just to summarize, is the 3 years journey by DOI, their presentation and their position. Some people have blamed DOI to be playing it safe, not really taking responsibility, and try to have win a popularity contest. Some people are blaming Usainu Dabo for the tactical alliance, and the fact that it helps disintegrate the coalition mandate to hold Adama Barrow accountable. Because if we had independent candidacy in the parliament, Adama Barrow would not be able to even think about it, going beyond 3 years. Or some of the, coalition, decision being made by the president wouldn't have been done by him alone. We also spoke briefly about the arrest of the youths Killer Ice and them. Those arrests, we didn't know the details on them, but what we gathered was that some of those arrests are based on previous incident, Faraba case, and so forth. Youths taking, things on their own responsibility and then acting, the way they acted. They also, some people are among the crowd that took it upon themselves, not even associated with the protest. They went and used their personal past beef or past problem with the IG and went and burned his home, which has nothing to do with the protest. So that means that we have to try to have the protest folks organize their protest. They know that people part of the protest are there for one reason, not about other agendas like retaliation and things like that. They need to be in charge of organizing the protest to the will of what the protest is aimed for, because some people are taking advantage of the crowd and then doing things wrong, and then now it will be blamed under the umbrella of freedom. They will say that, because of the new freedom we have, people are overstepping and they are doing things, and that this can ruin our whole entire, wishes, which is to make sure that Gambians have rights to express themselves freely. And we also went on discussing about deforestation to help, our forests so that we can have enough rain in the Gambia. Right now, our rain is not, coming as it's supposed to. Like when we are all growing up as a child, we used to have a lot of rain in the Gambia. That time we have a lot of forests, but now because of this land issue, everybody want to own a land, and people are just building flat. They are not going up, the skyscrapers, and this is really destroying our environment. We are, the real estate companies are just destroying forests and buying real estate and selling it with big money, and using our employees, paying them low wages, and getting those deals across. So we need to have some kind of legislation in the parliament, and of course the government need to oversee this, either to come with some ways, when it comes to land ownership, and also when you cut a tree, you plant it with another tree. You cannot just be cutting trees and then affecting our environment when it comes to rain. So we need to explore these things carefully, and sensitize our people. Again, this whole aim of this platform is not only to criticize or complain. We are here to educate one another, to hold everybody accountable. What can we do on our end, to make our country better? Not only what can the president do or what can the parliament secretary, permanent secretary do, it's a cross. I mean, it's a collective effort. Together, if we hold ourselves accountable and we observe what we do, and we say we do things that put Gambia first, we will have a better country, and we will have the country that we are dreaming about. So I want to thank the viewers. Again, some of our participants dropped out during the conversation, I guess because of network issues. But next time we're gonna try to, work that, so that we can have more participation. We thank you all for watching us. Thank you, Habib.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sawane. Thank you very much. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
so we continue to discuss on the platform on WhatsApp.
Sure, inshallah.
All right, take
Thank you
care.
very much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, bye. Mhm.